ever wondered why all of the posts are so similar that it almost feels there's a hidden camera around you? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sakshi Agarwal from the Psychology Department, third semester. And today I'm going to talk about this mystery in my speech, the Fomo epidemic. We live in an age where individuality is ironically mass produced. We are constantly being pulled into a whirlpool of what's in. And in this whirlwind, we forget to ask, do I even like this? Let me share something personal. There was a time when my face was the center of everyone's advice because of acne. Friends, family, even strangers gave me tips as if they all had dermatology degree from the YouTube University. Try lemon juice. Follow this Korean skincare routine. Stop eating fried food. That is why you look like this. Lose some weight. Maybe it's all connected. And I listened, not to one voice, but to all of them. I became obsessed with whatever was trending online. One day it was niacinamide, the next snail mucin. I brought expensive products, tried bizarre DIYs, and even followed every diet trend I saw online. Keto, gluten-free, sugar-free. I wasn't trying to understand what was actually wrong. But eventually I saw a doctor. A real doctor, not an influencer. That is when I was diagnosed with PCOD. But before I could even process that, the internet hit me up again. PCOD cures smoothies. Lose 10 kgs in 15 days. Try these 3 magical food. No time to relax, only more pressure to fix myself. That is when I realized I wasn't following advice. I was following fear. The fear of being judged, of not fitting in, of not being enough. I was chasing the trends, not the truth. And I know I'm not alone. There are many of us who lose time, money, and ourselves trying to keep up. Take the Labubu trend, for instance, my inspiration for today. It's a tiny fictional creature that everyone is obsessing over, buying at ridiculous prices, even fighting over. But do people actually know what it is? A doll? A gremlin? Doesn't matter. It's trending, right? And not following the trend is social extinction. Then take the hate towards bands like BTS. Some people haven't even heard to a full track but will still join the hate train only because it is cool to hate something popular. And I'm not saying this because they are my favorite band, but because there are people around me who will hate on anything they see only because others are doing the same. And don't get me started on the diet trends. One week it's no carbs, next only raw. People are going around starving, exhausted, and tired only because a ribbed YouTuber said something is life changing. People are so swayed by these online trends that they start doubting their own way of life. 5 minutes into scrolling, your clothes are outdated, your job is boring, your body is wrong, even your lunch isn't aesthetic enough. This is FOMO at its finest, the fear of missing out. It is like we've handed our brains to the internet and said, here, you think for me. But this blind following isn't new. It's just gone digital. In ancient India, rigid norms like the caste system controlled every aspect of life. And nobody questioned why, because that's just how things were. Even in the colonial times, people followed the British customs blindly in order to appear modern, like wearing a coat in Delhi's heat or speaking in English, even if the content made no sense at all. And even now, some superstitions go unchallenged. You ask why, and you'll hear, our elders followed it, so we should too. But no one actually knows where these beliefs came from, or if they're even true or not. But have you wondered why this happens? Why we so badly want to fit in? why we follow everything that's there in the market. We've always been a society where following the majority felt safer than questioning it. We are so scared to be the odd one out that it leads to the suppression of ideas and opinions. Even though we have the freedom of speech, being the black sheep is considered rebellious. Orthodoxy is not thinking, not needing to think. Orthodoxy is unconsciousness. Here, George Orwell paints a bleakness of a world where conformity becomes so absolute that independent thought is no longer necessary or even possible. It's a chilling image of a world where dogma, ideologies, and trends dictate reality. Let's not allow trends to dictate our choices, our beliefs, or our identities. Because when everyone is thinking the same thing, no one is actually thinking at all. So here's a plea. Pause. Ask why you like something. Ask, do I actually like this? Do I actually believe in this? It's okay to not follow what everyone else is doing because the best kind of trend, being fearlessly you. Thank you.
Talent is a gift from God. Some are born with skills in music, art, sports, studies, or leadership. But here's the truth, just having talent alone is not enough to achieve your goal. Some are born with talent. Everyone has talent, but not all succeed. Why? Because success requires more than talent. It needs hard work, dedication, courage, discipline, and consistent. Let me share my personal experience with you all. When I first came to Kolkata, I was worried because I do not know how to speak Bengali. I joined a 1 month language class and learnt basic Bengali for communication. That helped me to complete my mission well. But later on, when I moved to Siliguri, people mostly spoke Hindi and Nepali. I slowly started forgetting Bengali because I was no longer using it. This taught me a value lesson. Even if you learn something well, if you do not practice it regularly, you will lose it. Practice must be nurtured, developed, and used, or else it disappears. Let me give an example from the sports world. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest football player, once said, I have learned that talent is not everything. You can have it, but you need hard work, courage, discipline, and humility to grow it. This shows us that without practice and discipline, even the most talented person can fail. You can be gifted in something, but if you do not practice it regularly, if you do not improve it, if you do not have the right attitude, even that talent may slowly fade away. Let me give another example from my own life. In my formation period, we need to decorate for feast, celebrations, solemnities, and any other functions. In my group, I was the one decorating everything. I enjoyed it, and others have appreciated my creativity. But later on, I thought, why should I do it all the time? Let others also get the chance. So I stepped back and let others to take the responsibilities. For 2 years, I did not do any decoration and I encouraged others to do it rather. When my formation was over, I became a sister. Now I got the chance to decorate. But one thing I realized, I have lost my touch. My creativity was no longer the same. In those 2 years, others have improved their skills, but I have lost what I had. Not that because I lacked talent, but because I did not use and develop it. This taught me a moral vessel lesson that we should not never be too satisfied or too relaxed with your talent. Talent is not enough. You need to continue practice, hard work, and dedication to grow it every day. Let me give an powerful quotes with you all. Talent is a gift, but discipline is a choice. Without discipline, even the most grateful person can go away. Talent opens the door, but hard work keeps it open. Talent is the spark, but the practice and perseverance are the fire that keeps on burning. So, my dear friends, don't just depend on your talents. Build them, sharpen them, grow them. Do hard work, be patient, and stay confident. Keep on trying, even if you fail. And most importantly, stay humble and confident. In my conclusion, remember to reach out to your goals in life. Talent is only the beginning part. What really makes the difference is your effort, attitude, courage, and values. So let us not waste the talent what God has given us. Let us use them, develop them, and combine them with hard work so that we can truly receive and achieve by our success and become the best version of ourselves. Thank you all for listening.
Life is uncertain. You cannot truly put into words what the meaning of life is. Some would say it is to worship, and some would say it is to attain nirvana. However, some would even say it is to find and fulfill one's purpose. And I find it completely impossible to not say that life is just one big performance with you as the lead. Salutations, honorable judges, faculty members, and my dear brothers and sisters. My name is Rick Hang Sotang, and I am from the English department, first year. And today, I bring forth a topic not widely discussed, the art of performing. Peter Brook once said, to perform is to confront yourself. The mask can hide your face, but it can never hide your soul. When you put that in the context of life, you get your personas. Just to help you understand better, let's take one persona you put up inside the college in front of faculty members and your friends. And let's take another persona, which you put up outside the college in front of the strangers. Now it is common knowledge that one of these personalities is obviously more expressive than the other, and the other is obviously more sophisticated. However, one thing that does not change is who you are underneath that persona. Similarly, when you perform, you put up an act. When you perform, you put on a mask. And similarly, the one thing that does not change is who you are underneath that mask. In the words of Louis Armstrong, what we play is life. The reason why I keep emphasizing on life being a performance is because performing is an art form, and art has the power to change lives. Listen to this. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Old time is still a-flying, and the same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying. The Latin sentiment of these words is carpe diem, or in English, seize the day. I learned this while watching a movie, Dead Poets Society. The performance of the actors, specifically Robin Williams, changed how I viewed literature. It changed how I viewed poetry, the language, and my life in general. And it's not his role that inspired me, no. His role was of a simple teacher who was once a former student of that same school. What makes his performance so special is how he portrays this role. Enough about Robin Williams though. Let's talk about someone everybody loves and cherishes. Freddie Mercury, the singer, leader, and frontman of Queen. one of the greatest bands of all time. The reason why I mention his name here is because that man could do things as a singer that should not be possible. 72,000 people in the palm of his hands. Live Aid, 1985, entire Wembley Stadium sold out. And the center of attraction, well, of course, Freddie. One man raises his arm up in the air and everybody sings in unison. Everybody applauds in unison. And everybody chooses to follow this person. Why? Why? Because that person is charismatic. That person loves what he does and he does it best. The reason why I mentioned these two names here today is because they are just like us, you and me. They are human beings. Sure, they love what they do, but they also work hard towards it and they don't fear expressing. Sure, Robin Williams loves acting, but what he loves more is making people laugh. Freddie Mercury loves singing, but what he loves more is performing for his fans. And similarly, there are things that we love and we want to do. However, people of my age often tend to keep things to ourselves because we fear being judged, being made fun of, making mistakes, and people laughing at us. And so that is why I chose this topic. To remind you all that you are the lead of your own performance, the master of your own mind, and the human being of your own life. What others say hardly matters. Don't listen to them. Express yourselves. Do what you love. And I would like to end by saying, live every day of your life like it's your greatest performance of all time. Thank you.
I am Hayakazi from Department of Psychology, 3rd semester. Today, I stand before you to speak on the topic why I would rather text than talk. So, let me be very honest with you from the very start. If I had the option to text this speech to each of you individually, I would. No offense, it's not you. It's just that speaking out loud in front of people, it's kind of terrifying. Texting is just easier. You see, I belong from a generation where speaking on the phone directly without warning is considered as aggressive behavior. And beyond all of that, some of us deal with anxiety. Talking face to face can feel like being on a stage without a script. Our heart races, our brain blanks, and suddenly we are hyper aware of everything that we are saying and not saying. Texting just gives a layer of calm. We don't have to be worried being judged or sound wrong or saying wrong things in real time. Texting is just safer. When I text, I have time. Time to think, time to edit, time to delete the entire message, rewrite it, overthink it, and then not send it at all. But when I talk, the words are out there, floating in the air. No backspace, no delete. Just me, panicking and praying I didn't say something weird. Let me give you an example. One day, I was at a family function and somebody asked me what I wanted to do in life. A completely normal question, right? My brain froze, my mouth panicked, and I said, I want to emotionally retire at 30. Everybody stared. My mom pretended not to know me. But that would never happen in a text, right? In a text, I would have time to find a smart answer, throw in a quote by Elon Musk, and end it with a haha to seem humble. Another benefit of texting? The exit strategy. Have you ever tried exiting a real conversation? It's hard. You inch away, you fake a smile, you say, alright then, but they're still talking. Now, compare that to texting. You just stop replying. Done. Conversations over. And if they follow up, you just say, oh, I just saw your message. You just didn't see it. You saw it hours ago. You panicked. You kept your phone down and stared at the ceiling. But still, socially acceptable. Try that in real life and you look rude. Even worse, you get roped into making weekend plans. Let us also talk about voice notes. People say, oh, just send me a voice note. It's easier. Easier for who? The sender? Maybe. The listener? I now have to find a quiet room, find my earphones, and mentally prepare myself just to hear your voice randomly yelling hello into my soul. No thanks. Just text me. Even better, text me in memes. I understand memes. They are my love language. Now, some people might say texting is so impersonal. It's not real communication. But you know what? Texting can be very impressive. Texting can be very impressive. It is a form of art. A perfectly crafted message with one emoji can say a lot more than a whole conversation. You can understand when someone's angry to stop using emojis. You can also understand when someone's excited they start typing in all caps. Texting is not boring, it's a form of art. Now, I'm not saying we should completely stop talking face to face. There are times when real conversations are better, like therapy, marriage proposals, or when your phone is dead. But most of the time, I would rather text than talk. Not because I don't want to connect to you, but because I want to do it without stuttering, sweating, and accidentally saying welcome instead of thank you. So, if you enjoyed my speech today, please just text. Don't call, and especially don't FaceTime. I am not emotionally ready for that. Thank you.
The Generation Z. And like me, you all can relate. What do we feel like most of the time? That yes, I can do anything. I am ready for the future. But then, what happens? 42% of the youth doesn't really get the job they want, as finding a right job itself is a job. 39% feels dissatisfied with their job, and the rest remains unemployed. And when this feeling creeps in, what do you think depression is about? Is it about dark nights, gloomy days, constant crying sessions? No. Depression at the time feels like waking up every morning, going to the office, meeting deadlines, coming home and doing hardly anything. And then the night falls. The next day, the same routine gets repeated again and again until we realize, oh, there is something wrong within us. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Shomili Mukherjee, a BCom second year student, a creative soul who dances to breathe and crafts to cope, and someone who is still very much in the middle of the journey from campus to corporate. So let's take, for instance, we all have a survival kit at home, right? But did we ever think of making a survival kit for ourselves? By a survival kit, I mean a mindset. A mindset which is built on you by yourself, which helps you thrive in any difficult situation, opens a door of abundance for you, guides you how to be responded to and how to proceed further. Now, let me take you back to the first few days of college. New friends, new environment, new classes, and dreams so big that they don't even fit into our notebooks. But slowly and steadily, what happens? A different kind of anxiety starts to creep in. Because no one really teaches us about the transition from assignments to appraisal, from group projects to real deadlines, from campus to corporate. But let me share with you an incident which did not happen in a seminar or a success story. It happened to me on one random night when I almost decided to give up. My friends around me were updating their LinkedIn profile, getting replies from firms, and getting their jobs. But I hadn't even gathered the courage to draft a single mail. I sat all by myself with my books open and my mind spinning in self-doubt. What if I'm just an average? What if I'm not a cutout of this? What if I can never cope up? But next day, I was asked to lead a short presentation in class, something which I really avoid being an introvert. But that day I said yes. Let's grab the opportunity. I stood up, my voice shaking, palms sweaty, but I spoke. Not perfectly, not smoothly, but courageously. And when I sat down, I did not hear silence. I heard applause. That was my moment. That made me realize that you don't have to be fearless to show up. You just need to be courageous. Yes, that moment did not land me to any degree or a job, but it made me realize that confidence isn't always loud. It's quiet. It's personal. It's built in moments when you decide to choose yourself. So let me ask each one of you present here, what does courage mean to you? Does it mean scrolling through Instagram's motivational reels, watching various motivational speakers on YouTube, and procrastinating all by yourself saying, yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm ready for the future. No. Courage means when you decide to grab that opportunity. Come in and grab that opportunity. So next time, when you prepare your survival kit, make sure that your mindsets are properly stacked in. Make sure you make yourself understand one size doesn't fit all. What is a threat to me might be an opportunity to the other. Coming towards the end, I would like to end my speech with 4 C's. First is care. Care for yourself, then only you can care for others. The next is connect. In today's world, we are connected through various social medias. But what we need to realize is, are those connections really meaningful? Because meaningful connections lead to meaningful success. The third is community. We all are a part of community, be it a college or hobby. What we need to do is share in that community and grow. The last is your culture. Embrace the new, but stay rooted where you came from. Your identity matters. We need to decide we are just going to leave or leave a legacy behind. Thank you.
I come from Department of Commerce, third year. I'm here to talk about something that is a taboo for most of us in the room. I'm here to talk about the friend I call death. Let me introduce you to someone that most of us would always want to avoid. They have always been there with me in my silence, in my sorrows, and in my fears. But they have never lied to me, not even once. This is the companion that I call death. This companion has always been true to me, and oddly enough, I don't fear them, but I respect them. When we walk through life, we assume that we have a lot of time. We put off dreams. We stay angry for longer than necessary. We curse people. Why? Because we believe that we'll have a lot of time to fix it all. But what if we don't? Ask the families of the Pahalgam attack who went for a beautiful trip and never returned. Ask the families of the people who boarded that Ahmedabad Air India flight and are still waiting for them to arrive. Each one of them had a plan. Each one of them wanted a tomorrow. But then there was literally nothing. Even in Mahabharat, Yudhishthir, when he was asked, "What is the most surprising thing that you have ever felt in life?" He replied, "People see people dying every day, and yet they believe that they have forever to live." Not every moment stays forever. One moment when it comes, it definitely has to go. Be it your grief, be it your sorrow, or be it the moment when the people you loved left. Everything changes. So, just how life had started getting dark without any warning, it started lighting up again. Slowly, silently, but yes, beautifully. I started noticing little things. There was a friend that I noticed who always used to ask me, "Bro, where have you been?" I noticed the chai shop uncle who always asked me if I was okay or not. I noticed that music shuffle that made me smile for no reason. Because I had realized that we stop showing up for life until death pulls us back in. Why do we need death to reunite us with something from which life has distracted us? This makes us realize again that life doesn't owe us anything, but it has so much to offer. I don't fear death anymore, but I do take it as a reminder that I have to live every day honestly and urgently. Because we never know when would our last goodbyes be. So whenever I hang up my phone, I always say I love you. Whenever even if I'm not looking my best, I always take a picture. And I try not to go to bed angry. Why? Because you don't regret being too loving or too kind, but you would always regret being too late. This is a certain regret that I wouldn't want any of us in this room to carry. Why? Because leaving a friend or a loved one after an argument and then realizing that they are gone forever would create a last memory as a forever wound in your life. Go ahead, look around you. These people around you are faces that you might not see after college or not after today. We are just stories passing through each other's chapters in life. So go ahead and say whatever you have wanted to say for long. Don't wait for life to be perfect to be happy, because death doesn't come with a warning. It just leaves a lot of things unsaid. If that is the period, I would want the sentence behind it to be bold, to be messy, and to be full of meaning. I would not want to be remembered for the multiple things that I might have achieved in my life, but I want to be remembered for the hearts that I have touched, for the 2 a.m. messages that I have sent, and for the people I have stayed for, even when they didn't know that I was struggling myself. And I'm still here. If you are here too, you matter, so make it count. Live your life like it isn't forever, because it isn't, and love because your life matters in the life you are living. Thank you so much.